Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo is tonight calling on President William Ruto to immediately appoint the 9 persons proposed for membership into the IEBC selection panel so as to unlock the 2-year-long stalemate surrounding the filling of vacancies at the IEBC. This follows Thursday's ruling by the High Court in Kiambu, which dismissed a petition challenging the proposed membership on account of lack of representation for persons living with disabilities. NTV's Ibrahim Karanja begins our broadcast tonight.
Following the decision by the High Court in Kiambu to unclog the IEBC stalemate, dismissing a petition challenging the proposed membership of the IEBC selection panel, political leaders are quick to respond.
We demand that President William Ruto moves with speed to now put in place the 9-person selection panel for the IEBC, leading, of course, into the formation and reconstitution of the IEBC. There can be no other pretense. Others, as I said, were blaming us, and this was not an application in Kiambu. This was a state-sponsored application, and we are happy they have ordered, whatever it is, a judge in Kiambu. We don't want to criticize that ruling.
Kalonzo once again revisiting that, contrary to assertions by their opponents, neither his Wiper Party nor the minority Azimio side had occasioned the delay. Calls for the reconstitution of IEBC were echoed by Eugene Omalo of DAPK and Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni.
But now, the other matter in the Court of Appeal by Mr. Augustine Muli can continue because there are no orders. There are no orders in that matter before the Court of Appeal. The orders were only out of the Kiambu court. Therefore, this is a second opportunity, and I spoke about this last time when my good friend Weta, he still remains my very good friend, by the way, in spite of the talks I've had out there in the West. So this is a time for him to forward the names. As chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, I think it is the Senate, or is it the Senate clerk who is supposed to forward these names forthwith to the President, and the President should immediately put in place the IEBC selection panel.
William Ruto has no excuse but to proceed and do the needful. The country is waiting. We have started the 3rd year of this administration, and we must start making the necessary preparations for the next elections.
Ni vyema William Ruto hakikisha kwamba IEBC commissioners are in place kwa haraka ili yaweze kunyoroshwa na opposition ambayo inaongozwa na Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Hii haitakuwa mambo ya yai ili anachorwa na hii ni kupagusa kabisa. Na ni asubuhi mapema amekaa kilialia mambo ya yai, sasa agoje kunyoroshwa na Kalonzo mwenyewe.
The High Court dismissed the petition by Boniface Njogu, stating that neither of the 2 issues raised for determination had been successfully prosecuted. The first one being that the selection panel lacked representation from persons living with disabilities, and that the minority party, in nominating its representative, did not conduct a transparent process. The clerk of the Senate, Jeremiah Nyegenye, now expected to forward the names to the President to see the first selection panel appointed under the IEBC Amendment Act of 2024. The proposed membership include Dr. Nelson Makanda, Fatuma Saman, Dr. Ambassador Koki Muli, Evans Misati, and Nicodemus Bore Kipchirchir. There also is Andrew Tanui Kipkoech, Caroline Kituku, Professor Adams Olo, and Linda Kiome. With all hurdles that were standing in between putting up an IEBC selection panel now cleared by the courts, it appears that there is some light at the end of the tunnel, with the opposition right now calling for the appointment of this selection panel and a further appointment of IEBC commissioners with immediate effect. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV, Nairobi.